Hello and welcome back to Video Games Reloaded, and as you can see in front of you, a controller for a Dreamcast, but it's not a normal controller, it's actually wireless. This is the sensor bar here, and if I lift it up and turn it around, you can see there's no cables other than the charging port cable, and these actually have a VMU built in to the system itself. So if you were to add 2 more VMUs, you would get 3 VMUs. If you wanted to put a rumble pack in, you could put a rumble pack in, and you could put a VMU in, you would have 2 VMUs and a rumble pack inside. And it's controlled with this button when it's fully charged, and it would light up and come on. At the current time, I've not actually charged it for a while, so it's pretty dead and I would need to charge it again. But yes, I left it out on the other video, and I'm sure there's still stuff I haven't shown you, like cables and wires, which you might pop them in at the end. But for now, let's take a look at the video games. It's going to be a little bit of a longer one, so I would recommend getting yourself a drink or something to eat, and then just go through the games I have. So let's go. Okay, so now covering the main games. I'll try to be as quick as I can without trying to be too boring. If I miss a couple out, they probably wouldn't seem as interesting to me. But I would suggest get yourself a drink and something to eat, because this could be a little bit of a long one. So we'll start off with 18-wheeler, 102 Dalmatian, 4x4 Jam, 4-wheel Thunder, Aqua GT. Don't get that game, that's terrible. Armed 7, and as you can see, it's got a reflective cover. That's the collector's edition. Andros Dunos, Andros Dunos 2. This is put out by Pixel Heart. They obviously got the license to make a second game, and they've done a real good job. The only downside is it takes so long to download. I don't know if I ever told anybody that I think in the last video that I had Alison's Dream Tournament, and that was the PAL edition, and there you go, that's that one. Well, Can't Miss Out like Alone in the Dark. That's a classic horror. That's a great game. And then 2 Air Force Aerowing games. Army Men. And then to the B's. Buzz Lightyear, Blue Stinger, very strange game that one. Battlecrossed, a top-down shooter. Buggy Heat. Sega Bass Fishing, ideally with the fishing rod. Buster Move 4, a puzzle game, one of my favourites here. Bang-I-O, it's a side-on shooter, lots of bullet hell on that one. Confident Missions, and there's 2 copies of Choo Choo Rocket, which are slight variations. One's got like an internet disc. Conflict Zone, still sealed, it's a strategy game. Cannon Spike. And now on to Crazy Taxi and Crazy Taxi 2. Oddly enough, on Crazy Taxi, so when you see ports of Crazy Taxi, you see them on GameCube and PlayStation, but you don't actually see Crazy Taxi 2 port. It's exclusive to the Dreamcast. So if you want to play Crazy Taxi 2, you would have to buy a Dreamcast. Capcom vs SNK. Chicken Run. Championship Surfer. Carrier, there's a good solid title. That's a horror set on a ship. Cool Herder, which is a sheep sharing game, and collecting them, and so kind of like a Bomberman with sheep, I would say. Coaster Works, build your own coasters and see if you can get people to throw up. Caesar's Palace, gambling game, not very good. Charge and Blast. Charge and Blast is a very interesting game because I've been playing this for years and I still can't clear level 4. It's that difficult. Donald Duck's Quack Attack. It's a great Disney game. Disney's Dinosaur, and not so good. And an arcade sort of style favourite, Dynamite Cop. Deep Fighter, not very good, 2 discs. Deadly Skies, and this one is a little bit better. It's like a combat. Daytona USA 2001, great game that one. A little bit difficult on its controls, but a lot more packed into that one. Dino Crisis, great horror. Dragon Blood, I think it was Wrath of the Worm or something that got called in the USA, totally different name. Dave Mirror. Here's one that did get released, but not in, in very big numbers, and that was came in like a cardboard sleeve initially, but I just did the artwork for it, and that's Drift Out, and that's like a top-down rally game. Dead or Alive. Dragon Rider, Chronicles of Pern. Great title, that one. Very difficult, lots of reading of text. The Catty World, not very good, unfortunately. Ducks 1.5. EC Hardcore Revolution. There's a classic, Echo the Dolphin. Great game that was. Another sealed one I've not got round to, unfortunately. Open it up. I think I had to do a replacement, and it's ESO. I think I sold a copy to a friend. That's why I had to get another one. EC Hardcore. Evil Dead. Hail to the king, baby. Europe Super League. Evolution. I don't have the second one. I wish I did. That would be 2 games on this one. Well, it's Philia and Elisa, which is like a puzzle games. Evil Twin. Fur Fighters. F1 Racing. This is an absolutely fantastic opening, but a absolutely terrible game. F1 Racing World Grand Prix 1 and 2, very solid titles. Another sealed one, which is Fade to Black. A Flashback. Floyd and Brothers. Fast Striker. Ferrari 355 Challenge. Very difficult game, but a lot of fun. Fighting Force 2. Freestyle Scooter. Flea. FX Unit. Fighting Vipers 2. Fruity. That one came in a long box, and it just was driving me potty. Grand Theft Auto 2. Gigawing. Gauntlet Legends, really solid game. That was an arcade one as well. The Grinch. This one's sealed because I've just not got round to actually open it and play it. There's a Dreamcast of Gran Turismo. Great game. Grenada. Ganru. Gunbird 2. Ghostblade. A Gunlord, and as you can see I did the artwork to that one as well. Got a long box release, but I've got a normal one. Headhunter, Heavy Metal, Gormex, that's sealed, Hydro Thunder, Hidden and Dangerous, Herms, so I catch that chicken, a World War II simulator, Iron Aces, and on the end of the shelf, Incoming. So that's the first row of games. And on to the second row. So Raiders, Masters of Blocks, Inhabitants, Intrepid Izzy, and you know I love that game, Jerry McGrath's Supercross, here's a great title, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, a sealed copy of Jet Set Radio, and an unsealed one to play, Jimmy White's Cue Ball, and this one is signed by Jimmy White on the disc and as a bonus on the manual as well. KO the Kangaroo, Kiss Psycho Circus, a shoot 'em up that's not particularly very good. I have 2 copies of Soul Reaver Legacy of Kain just because I like the game, and Le Mans, Scoos the Light playing havoc with the camera, unfortunately. Leona's Tricky Adventures, Last Hope, MDK or Murder Death Kill 2, Millennium Soldier, here's a great title, Deus Ex Mannequin Ex Machina, I think it's something to do with sword blade and squashbuckling. I've actually done a long video on that before. It's a great solid game. Greatest Hit Midway, Mag Force Racing, that is not a Wipeout style game, not in the slightest. Sealed copy of Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Mortal Kombat Gold, why I call it gold, it's terrible, it should be just called 4, MSR, Mr. Driller, Mackie Pie, Magic Pockets, seal one because I don't really want to open it, it's just not valuable, it's just not worth playing. MTV Skateboarding, Monaco Grand Prix 1 and 2, one's on of them is online, which I think is the second part. NFL Quarterback, Normand Soul, Neo Zeist, NFL Blitz, Super Magnetic Neo Man, NHL 2K, Night Creatures, NBA Showtime and NBC coverage, Outrigger, Fantasy Star 1 and 2, Plasma Sword, Persona, getting very difficult to find this one. Really, by now, if you haven't sort of snapped one of these up, it's going to be really expensive down the line. Power Stone 1 and 2, Pen, Project Justice Rival Schools, Pro Pinball Trilogy, Psychic Force 2012, Pod Racing, Postal, Orion's Puzzle Collection, great game that one's got 3 mini games on and they're all addictive. Quake 3 Arena, great if you're going to use that keyboard and mouse. Ready to Rumble Round 2 and 1. Roadster, terrible game. There's a great one, Res. It's a music synergy shoot 'em up title with very trippy vibes. Rush 2049. Rayman 2, The Great Escape. That game is phenomenal on Dreamcast. Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil Nemesis. Resident Evil Code Veronica, still waiting for a remake of that on the PS4. Royal Rumble. Rockatron. Rush Rally. Red Dog. Revolt. Records. Locus of War. Let's get that into shot, bear with. Railroad Tycoon. Silent Scope from the arcade, and a shoot 'em up. Don't require the gun for that one though. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, fantastic game. Star Wars Demolition, terrible game. Star Wars Jedi Power Battles, an okay game. Soul Fighter. Suzuki All Stars. Spec Ops. Shadow Games. Spawn, very good game. Go on to the next one. You got 2 copies of Sega Rally. There's slight differences on both them. Space Channel 5. Sega Extreme Sport. Stupid Invaders, a lot of fun that one for a point and click. Sega GT. Soul Calibur. Snow Surfer. 2 copies of Soldier of Fortune. Believe it or not, there's a slight difference. There's no age rating on this one, and there is on that one, putting it a bit more obscure. And 3 Sonic games, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and the infamous Sonic Shuffle that some like and some don't. Personally, I don't care. Yes, it's a short, but it's a party game, so you expect it to be short. And that covers row 2. Row 3. Spirit of Speed. Everybody loves that game. Trust me, do not buy it. Surf Rocket Racer. That's a fun title. Skies of Arcadia. Star Lancer, sort of space shooter. It's very good. Street Fighter Double Impact. Street Fighter Alpha 3. Street Fighter Third Strike. Sega's 90 Minutes. Silver. Spider-Man. We'll miss Sydney 2000, it's not particularly interesting. Sword of Berserk. One of my favourites, Shadow Man. And then we'll go across. Satazia next. Snowcross. Speed Devils Racing Online. And Speed Devils. If you ever play these are a lot of fun as a game. They really don't get enough talked about them, but if you ever play them, you know they're really solid. Seth's Love Shack. South Park Rally. Supercharged Volkaiser. Stormwind. Super Runabout, that's a fun game. Get to be the police, or you can get to be the bad guys, and you drive around about San Francisco. and you do jumps and stunts, tons of mini games, lots of vehicles to ride and drive and play through. A lot of fun. Sega World Soccer 1 and 2. Can't pull that one out, unfortunately. It's just a copy of Shenmue, and on the other side there's 2 more copies of Shenmue 1 and 2. Sega Swirl, because it stands on its own as a game on its own, because it's just a puzzle game. Slave Zero. Space Channel 5. Now Japan got the second one of them, we didn't. Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider Chronicles. Tokyo Highway Challenge, and the game I played to death, Tokyo Highway Challenge 2. And the next Tetris. Tapeworm, there's some classics. Tony Hawk's 1 and 2. A lot of fun. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Tech Romancer. Tough Guys. That's a great game. Trickstyle, Time Stalker, Toy Commander, and Toy Racer. Teed Off, and here's one. You can say, okay, that's not a Dreamcast game. Well, technically it is, because it ran off the Bleem engine and you could play PlayStation games on it, and that's Tekken 3. Track and Field. Toy Story 2. And then some UEFA's. Urban Chaos. Ultimate Fighting Champ. Unreal Tournament. Volga the Viking. Now this game itself is very, very, very hard indeed. That's all muscle memory on that game. But great fun. Virtual Athletics. Virtual Tennis. Virtual Tennis 2. Virtual Fighter 3TB. And Virtual Striker 2. We're getting there. Let's move on to the next one. Vanishing Point. Very game I enjoy very much. Vigilante 8. V-Rally 2. Worms Armageddon. Worms World Party. Wetrex. Wacky Racers. Fun title. Another race title. Walt Disney Magical Race Tour. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Wolf Flame. Wild Metal. This is a tank-based game and destroying other tanks and buildings, and this game is very underestimated. This is a lot of fun. I finished this a few times, but it's very, very difficult. Wind and Water Puzzle Battles. Oh. Xeno Crisis. Xenociders. I think I did say I did the cover work for this. I sort of redid the back because I couldn't get an official copy. Fun game. Ya Beavers. Zaya the Goddess. That's a great game. Orion, we need to see more. Zombie Revenge. And some other titles as we've covered before. Oh. So as I pan out, you can see quite a lot of games. And as I said, I am sorry for the light playing havoc on there, but there you go.